show. I'm excited. Aljamain Sterling just won a big fight in the UFC. He's on his way to becoming a two-time two-weight division world champion. And I trained with him. For the first time that I trained with him was when he was the UFC 135-pound champion. And I'm going to give you guys some inside stuff about what it's like to actually train with Aljo and what it's like to train with the UFC world champion for the first time. Plus, we're also going to get into a crazy weight cut story that I have with Aljo, because people know Aljo is one of the biggest weight cutters when he was cutting to 135. He had some interesting takes on my weight cutting philosophy. We're going to get into the fact they won't let him promote his rum, although I believe they should. Man, give him a little something. Let the guy promote his rum. I also went viral last night. I called out a pervert at a professional MMA event. The whole crowd got into it. They escorted a dude out of the building. It got pretty wild. And yeah, man. I'm also going to give you guys a little bit of a postponement. I said I was going to update you on the Hulk Hogan documentary. I haven't watched it. I went to the fights last night, and then we ended up going viral. And then today's been kind of crazy, and people have been trying to book me on podcasts and all kinds of stuff like that. So although that is not necessarily what I want to be famous for, it is cool to have people trying to reach out and connect, because I'm here to connect, guys. So if you're here to connect as well, then hit the chat. Make sure your notifications are on, because I go live every single day, but I go live at random times. So let me turn this on so I can hear what's going on. All right, guys. Okay, so first things first, before we get into it, I was at the I was at the Tough Enough fights with Doc Ock from Fight Circus, Dr. Octagon. He's going to play a major role in this story. And make sure you guys go check out Fight Circus. I confirmed with him today the Fight Circus shirts are getting printed. So make sure you check those out. All right, guys. Oh, chat's going already. Hamza is here. What's up, Dave? What's up, brother? Arpon the Dawn. Yo, we are live. Yes, we are live. We're going to discuss exactly what happened last night. We're also going to talk about what it's like to train with UFC world champion and future UFC 2 division world champion Aljamain Sterling. Also, my name is King David MMA. I'm a professional MMA fighter. I am a pro MMA champion, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Black Belt, and I coach at the best gym on the planet, Extreme Couture. So I have a lot of variable insights. And as far as the Hulk Hogan documentary, I'm also Hulk Hogan's nephew. So I'm qualified to speak on several subjects in a manner that most people never have the ability to get the inside scoop on, so I'm going to give that to you guys. All right, let me read this right here. Some influencer tried to fight you. Yeah, that he didn't try to fight me. He apologized to me and then told me that everything that we were saying about him was untrue and that he can prove it. That's actually what happened. We're going to get into that. This story gets kind of crazy. Aljo even looks big for 145. Yeah, Aljo looked jacked. I was at sushi with Dr. Octagon. We were laughing about it. I was like, bro, I got made 135. That's crazy. I've grappled with Aljo and Weidman. Yeah, two monsters right there. Yeah, so the first time I trained with Aljamain Sterling, we were keeping it kind of light and a little bit flowy, you know? And I was like, okay, this is cool. He had some neck issues going on. And so we were keeping it super chill. But what I found to be fucking strange was this dude was so freaking strong in like static positions. Like if you were to see Aljo and he's all buff and everything, you would imagine that he's like more of an explosive athlete, which he very well may be. But what I noticed was when I was grappling him, he would get to strange positions where he was like strong like this, right? And it was almost to the point that the combination of his like, I guess it would be tendon strength and his bone structure, it was like almost painful, his ability to stay connected and squeeze. So I found that to be kind of wild. And, you know, I trained with him after that as well. So I was a little bit more prepared for the strength aspect of it. And I wanted to feel more of his A game at that point because he had healed his neck and everything. So I put myself towards the cage hoping he would shoot, and he did. And then I felt what he does to everybody, which is, to me, and maybe this is just the way we matched up stylistically, but it looked the same as what I see him do in fights a lot. And it was playing between like putting your weight on your hands, right? And then when you try and fight hands and wrestle up, like he tries to bring you back to a hip or to your ass, right? And then if he is able to get you to start to turtle, he'll put a hook in and he'll try and take your back. And if you defend the hook, then he's going to try and take you down, right? Like pull you down. So you're already, let's say, in wrestling referee's position or in turtle, and he's playing a game between like he's going to take you down like with a double leg, or if you try and defend and sprawl, he's going to try and go to your back. And if you try and defend that by turning your back to him and fighting hands, he's going to pull you down, right? And if you try and stay based, he's going to try and put hooks in. So that's the like chess match of moves that I felt when I was training with him. So that was super interesting. And then later on, we trained together as well, which was a whole different experience. But in between then, we talked about weight cutting, and he was still at 35 at the time. And I was talking about how I plan to cut to 45. And, I won a professional MMA title at 165 pounds. And, I had like love handles in that. You know what I mean? I wasn't the leanest dude at 165. And at the time I was fighting at 55. And Aljo's like, bro, you're big, bro. Don't cut to 45. And I'm like, bro, what? Dog, Aljo, bro. You are the biggest 135er in history. What do you mean don't cut? And he's like, oh, man, yeah, bro, I wouldn't cut, dude. If I was you, I wouldn't cut. And so I go, Aljo, bro, what do you weigh? And he's like, bro, what do you weigh? And I'm like, dog, at the time, I was 100. I weighed myself that morning. I was 174 pounds. Okay, and I had some body fat on me. And I'm like, I'm 174. Aljo, what are you? Aljo was lean at 173. So he was leaner than me, and he was a pound less, and he's cutting to a weight class 10 pounds lower than what he told me not to cut to. So I found that to be fucking hilarious. So I was like, bro, it's so funny because the advice that you would give to somebody else in like a caring manner, is sometimes not the advice you would take. Like if somebody asked me the same thing, I would tell them maybe don't cut. I'd be like, bro, just fight a weight class up, bro. But when it comes to my own life, I'm like, dude, I'll suffer. I'll make the next weight class down, right? So the amount of suffering that you'll put yourself through oftentimes is not the same that you would recommend for somebody else. So I found that super interesting that he was cutting to 35 from 73. And he was objecting to me cutting to 45 from 74 at a higher body fat. So anyways, that was pretty interesting. And then when we trained that time, I wanted to see how, because I felt that like he's definitely got the advantage in wrestling on me. And I was like, okay, so in an actual fight, if I play this wrestle up game, he's going to mat return me and then play the like, put my hands on the mat, try and put a hook in. If I defend the hook, he'll pull me to the side. He'll put me on my ass. I'll try and base again. I'll fight hands. I'll put my hands back on the mat. So I felt like that cycle was going to happen. So I was like, what happens if I play guard? I was like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to play guard. Boom, get him in guard. And Aljo has really good defense as well. Anything I would pop up on him, it was almost like I felt like I was about to get it, like what you saw in the Zalal fight, where like Zalal would pop a triangle, but Aljo was just postured. So even though like Zalal's feet might have been connected, he didn't have the posture broken. And so when I was watching that in the fight, I was like, dude, that's exactly what I felt when I went with him. And I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I've got 9 professional MMA wins, all 9 by submission. And I've got a pro MMA title where I put a man to sleep with a triangle. I've got a pretty decent ground game, guys. And it was interesting to feel how, like, Aljo was, like, and that's why he's the world champion, guys. He was world class. And when I say world class, I mean that literally. I could tell why he was a world champion. Because he could play that line between, like, allowing himself to be in just enough danger to where he can get offense off. Because some guys will go shutdown mode and they won't let any offense happen, but they won't give up any position at all. He'll give up just the perfect amount to where he can start his offense. You feel like you're going to get him, but he's just like half a beat. He's like ready. He's prepared for it, right? And so like, boom, you shoot up a triangle, but he's already postured and turning a corner, right? And you're like, oh, fuck, I got to regard. Boom. But now you're back into a position where he's able to have just enough space where you feel like you could do something, but he's ground and pounding. So I found that to be super, super interesting. I learned a fucking lot from that round with him. And then another time, and this is me just trying to be saucy, I'm like, this is after he had fought Sugar Sean O'Malley. And I was like, dude, I want to see how good Sugar Sean is. So I tried to hit him with that pullback, you know what I mean? And Sugar Sean is excellent, guys. I did not land the pullback on him the way that Sugar Sean did, where Sugar Sean went backwards and hit him going backwards. And I was trying to land that. Obviously, I'm not going to gun it, but even though I wasn't gunning it, he wasn't gunning it on me either, just to be clear. It's sparring. We're not going 100%. But even trying to land it at all, I got myself taken down. And I was like, dang, bro, to see Sugar Sean hit that in a real fight, under the lights, under the pressure, gave me a newfound respect for Sugar Sean O'Malley. So that was kind of wild. And then the rest of the round, he and I grappled, and he won the round 10-9. So shout out to Aljamain Sterling. He got a big-ass win tonight. I'm excited. I hope he wins the 45-pound belt. I'd be curious to see him and Volkanovski fight. That is a very interesting matchup. And yeah, I would absolutely love to see that fight. So that's what I'm excited about. And I would hope that they would let him promote his rum, Funk Harbor Rum. Guys, go check it out. It is at local stores. And if it's not at your store, tell them to get it if you fuck with rum. I don't drink at all. I'm not saying drink. I'm just saying if you do, maybe support the community, guys. I do drink caffeine, however. This is a 0-calorie cola from Whole Foods. I've had about 5 energy drinks today, so I crushed the can a little bit because I put it in the freezer too long. I like to be like a little slushy, but this one froze too hard, so I had to crush it a bit to get it to break up. Let me check the chat, guys. The chat's popping off, and then we're going to get into the confrontation that happened at the fight last night where I ended up going viral. And one of those reels alone is up to 500K on Instagram alone. So I'm sure some of you guys have probably seen it. I'm going to give you the backstory on it because you guys are here with me live, and you guys get the first take. You get the first look. You get the inside scoop on what really happened, not the curated, clipped up version. So I'm going to give it to you guys real and raw. I was training at Longo's in Long Island from 2005 till 2020. Yeah, those dudes are G's. I fuck with Ray Longo and Matt Serra super hard. Sarah, Shoni Carter, Weidman, and Aljo coming towards the last days in New York. Marab joined. Yeah, dude. So I've trained with Marab as well. I'm going to do a different video on that next time Marab fights. He's got an interesting style as well. Even George used to come there. Aljo can make 155, and I think he'll look even better. Aljo weighs 190. Yeah, I don't know what Aljo weighs right now, but if you're saying 190, I trust you because you've come from his gym. But that I would not be surprised if he was getting up into the 90s. And it's in camp, he's 180 these days. He has a 55er frame. He's got great back control, one of the best. His striking looks better at 45 because he's not drained. Yeah, man, he looked good. He looked good tonight. And honestly, in terms of his physique, I could see him having competitive fights at 55. Dude's fucking jacked, bro. And he's excellent, right? So that is one of the things that I took away from training with him so the first time I trained with somebody in the UFC, it was a different feel than I've ever felt before. And then the first time I trained with a world champion was also different. And training with Aljo it's similar. It's like a lot of the same stuff other people are doing, but he's just doing it at a precise world-class level. The little things, like if you get your hip out, right? He gets just a little more hip height than you, where somebody else would let you get like your hip out, and then like you could beat them to get your hips up. Or let's say we're getting, I'm putting my back flat on the mat and I got to get my elbow down. Well, he like controls my tricep a little so that he gets the jump on me, like just tiny little details. It was super interesting. Let me read this. What's up, man? Barely come in, my guy. Bro, I heard from an MMA promoter who's based in Las Vegas was going to put a last-minute fight between you and that dude. Yeah, so I don't even know who that dude is. We'll get into that story right now. I went viral last night, guys. I wasn't even trying to go viral. I was trying to go enjoy some fights at Tough Enough. Oh! And before we talk about this, my teammate Jocelyn Edwards fought. She beat the number 3 girl in the world on short notice. Shout out to Jocelyn Edwards. She's freaking awesome. She doesn't speak any English, but she trains her ass off. I see her every single day at Extreme Couture, and she's always working, always training. I've sparred her a couple times. She's super chill, super cool. I'm super happy for her. So shout out to her. She looked great. And hopefully she gets that number 3 spot. So she's right there in title contention. But yeah, last night we pulled up to the Tough Enough fights. Oh, I got the thing right here. So they were kind enough to give us these, right? So this thing and this blue dot means you are on the floor, right? So you're VIP and you're on the floor. And they gave us those tickets, which they're usually super generous for, just various reasons. They always take care of us. So shout out to Tough Enough. We love Tough Enough. And this time we were pulling up with Nick Diaz. So they gave us the Ultra VIPs so there's a whole section at Tough Enough where all the UFC fighters sit and it's looking directly at the octagon at kind of like eye level. And then below that, like right at the cage, where like the only people in front of you are the commissioners, like the judges and stuff, is a different special row, right? And that special row is where they gave us the tickets because we were pulling up with Nick. But Nick flaked on us, right? So shout out to Nick Diaz. We ended up with Nick's tickets, so that was pretty dope. And we were sitting there chilling, and I was there with my buddy Doc Ock, aka Dr. Octagon from Fight Circus. And so he knows all this shit, right? I don't know anything. I know how to strangle people. I know how to fight. I like to live stream. I just discovered I like to live stream, right? This is recent. So I just started live streaming. Other than that, you know what I mean? I'm super chill. I'm like meditating in the backyard, putting my feet in the grass, drinking caffeine, getting sunlight, real hippie shit, right? And so I'm at these fights with Doc, and then he's like, bro, you see that guy? And some dude's coming in trying to make himself obviously known, right? Because he's got a camera dude with him. And so when the influencers pull up, oftentimes they'll have like a small camera, like when I was cornering Felony with Mickey Mace, he had his phone, but he was just like vlogging from his phone. So he would like put his phone on himself like this, and he would hold it like this, and he would look down and talk into the phone. Da 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 da. Now we're backstage. Blah blah blah. I'm really not supposed to be recording, but it's all good, right? Like so, he would be doing it like that, like kind of discreet. This dude was doing it the opposite. Not only did he have a camera dude with a camera on him, the camera dude had a bright ass light. So the fights are dark. So now this guy's coming in, light shining on him, trying to make himself known. Which, hey, listen, rule number 1, get attention. That's the first step, right? Grant Cardone taught me that. He's a billionaire I met in Miami. You may have heard about him. Grant Cardone, $2 billion or something in real estate. Anyways, so I'm not mad at this dude for doing that. But my boy, because he's bringing attention to himself, my boy recognizes it. He goes, you know who that is? I'm like, absolutely no idea. He's like, that's so-and-so. And so I'm not going to say the word because we got the YouTube algo, right? He blanked a 15-year-old girl. And this dude was walking in. He looks like 35, 40-ish, maybe older, right? And I'm like, whoa, that doesn't sound good. And I'm like, are you sure, bro? Are you like, because I'm looking at this like, dude, this guy's got a fucking camera crew on him and a bright light. He's clearly trying to generate attention. He's trying to get people to notice him and be like, oh, that's him, or who is that, or what? So if this were true, why would he be doing all this? And my boy's like, dude, no, for real. He's got court papers. It's all documented. It's all out there. And now the dude I'm sitting with, Doc, is not the type of dude to sell wolf tickets. Like, I've got friends that'll get mad over nothing. I've got friends like it for no reason. They're mad about the wrong thing. They heard something wrong and they're mad. And then you tell them, nah, he said this, and they're like, well, I'm still mad. He shouldn't have sounded the way I thought he sounded, or what, right? So he's not one of those dudes. He's the most like level-headed, base dude, not into the funny business at all, right? Like super aware, really a genius level operating character, right? Like that, not a fuck around dude at all. So for him to tell me this, I'm like, dude, this has to be true, right? And then I realized, okay, well, either people don't know who this dude is, or because of social pressure, nobody's going to say shit to him, right? I'm pretty comfortable under a lot of social pressure, and I'm very comfortable with conflict. I've gotten to 12 pro MMA fights. I'm okay with that, right? Like, so I start yelling, yo, bro, hey, man, you're the dude that blanked a 15-year-old girl, right? Right? That's you, right? You blanked a 15-year-old girl, right? That's you, right? And so now, and I can project my voice. So the whole, you can hear a pin drop. Ding. Everybody looks over at this dude. Now he's getting the attention, but not in the way he wanted it. So now everybody, and you just hear people start whispering. Now there's other video angles that came out of this where people are going, oh my gosh, he what? That's a strong accusation. Oh my gosh, right? And so people aren't even sure about this. But now everybody's buzzing in the place. Dude comes over to me. I'm sitting here cool as a cucumber, right? I'm chilling. This guy comes over and he goes, hey, bro, that's me, but I did not do this. I promise you, bro. I promise you, I can prove I did not do this. I promise you, I did not do this. Please, bro, I did not do this. Anyways, I'm like, you didn't do it? You can prove it. You can prove it? Bro, if you say you can prove it, bro, prove it. Like, can you prove, like, if you're saying you can prove it, okay, I'll trust you, but prove it. You know what I'm, like, what are we doing? Anyways, dude walks, my boy's Doc Ock is, no, it was you, because he's got the paperwork pulled up on his phone now, right? So he's not playing, I told you, he's not a nonsense guy. He's not playing around. So he's got the paperwork on his phone pulled up. The court case that this dude settled, he did a plea deal. He got, well, I guess you plead guilty to something else or some shit, right? So anyways, the details of the case are disgusting. It was multiple people. He's one of the multiple people. It was a 15-year-old girl. She happened to have been a, like, I don't even want to get into it, right? But like, okay, I'm not a fucking vigilante, guys. I'm not a police officer. I'm not a judge. I'm not any of that, right? I like to strangle people, win fights, come on here, vlog. I like to grass, meditate, you know, hang out with my dime piece girlfriend who's a genius. We talk about philosophy. We talk about all kinds of stuff. Like, if we were to remove every board in this house and replace it with different boards, would it still be the same house? Does the address make the house, or does the wood in the house make that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Philosophy, you know, nerd shit, right? Like, big brain nerd shit. I'm trying to keep up with her. She's a genius. She got a 4.0 at Berkeley. She fucking wins beauty pageants internationally. She's got a world beauty pageant title, okay? She's got, I don't know, 250,000 followers on socials, right? She's a dime. So when I'm not out here trying to fucking spark dudes in the street. I don't have, you know what I mean? But if somebody's got to get loud at a public event, I'm willing to get loud. I'm very comfortable with confrontation. I'm very comfortable with being loud socially. So I said, I got to do it. So I did it. And the point of what I was doing was just letting the public know who they're in the company of. It's not my promotion. I'm not a security guard. I'm not a president of an organization. I'm not a sponsor. I'm not another dude that's there to make a deal about a thing. Like, I'm not doing any of that. My role is to be the voice of the public so that everybody's aware of who's around. That's all I did. My boy had all the info. He knew all the details. He studies the shit. I don't know shit about it. I just know nobody else was going to say anything. So I felt to empower the people to know who they're in the building with, I'll speak up. So I spoke up. And then the dude came over, said it wasn't him, he didn't do it, and blah, 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 all that. Cool, bro. My boy's got the paperwork. Anyways, he goes and sits down. They seat him next to Sean Shelby, the UFC matchmaker. Sean Shelby's probably not a fan of the guy. He pulled up with a dude who is claiming to be on Conor McGregor's representation team. This gentleman who I believe works with McGregor Sport didn't know who he was with. He comes over to me after the event and apologizes. Dude, I didn't know who that guy was. I was just introduced to him because somebody wanted to do an influencer deal, and this guy said he's got blah, blah, blah. And so now it's all getting weird, right? Security's escorting homeboy out because my guy's got the paperwork and he's showing, because security's trying to talk to me like, dude, you're being loud. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm chill. And my boy Vance is behind me. Vance is a professional MMA fighter. He owns Meraki Medicinals, right? The methylene blue that you see people with the blue tongues and it helps your brain. So he owns the best. It's like an American brand. They make it all here. It's not the Chinese. It's like American made methylene blue type shit, right? He owns the whole brand and he's a pro fighter. He's right behind me. He's like, bro. He's like, let me know, bro. I'll come off the top rope with the fucking Randy Savage elbow on the dude, you know? And I'm like, appreciate you, Vance. I don't know who that guy is. I'm just helping my friends spread the word so everyone knows who we're in attendance with. And then as a collective, the group can make a decision on who we want in this event and who we don't. And the security and the promotion and the group, the crowd was chanting, no penalties, right? No penalties, right? Like, so they didn't want him there. The security didn't want him there. I would imagine the promotion didn't want him there. The people he came with walked over and apologized because they didn't even know who they were with. I got another buddy who was there. He's a big-time influencer. He's friends with Logan Paul, and I'm not going to say his name, but he's who got the Conor McGregor people in because he's friends with the Conor McGregor team, and he didn't know that they were bringing this dude. You get what I'm saying? So now this has all sparked controversy throughout the entire event just because I brought up something publicly very loud, right? So Vance is about to jump off the top rope. I got like 30 dudes who I train with that are all in the UFC right behind me. And then the coldest part about this whole thing is now the same dude who came over, said he didn't do it, all this stuff, is now promoting on his socials that he came over and I didn't want any smoke. And I'm like, bro, honestly, dude, like, I don't want smoke, but I'm very comfortable with smoke, bro. Smoke isn't a big deal to me, dog. I spar the best people on the planet, dog. I fucking scrap dudes who don't even spar. When you're in there with them, it's a fucking fight. It's a fight. Like every day of my life. To him, it's a big deal. To this guy, this dude, he's got all these crazy stories. So I don't know anything about him. This is just what I've learned in the last 12 hours or whatever it's been since, or 24 hours, is that he's got claims on the internet that he fought 30 men at once and the 30 men couldn't touch him and he beat up all 30 at the same time, and that he learned kung fu from an Asian man inside a Chinese restaurant who felt he had special powers, so he pulled him to the side and moved the tables and taught him wild shit, right? But this dude is so distant, so unfamiliar with danger that he can't tell when he's got danger right in front of him. When he is in physical danger, he can't even fucking realize it. That's how unfamiliar with danger that dude is. So this dude is mistaking my calm comfortability in danger for what he believes is him coming over and then having to have a story about, oh, I went over there and that dude didn't want it. Bro, you came over to me, dog, and you said you said that the story wasn't true. You promised me, you tried to pinky swear, and you told me you can prove it, bro. So the people that are sharing this story have asked him to unseal his files to prove his innocence because they want to trust him too. They say, man, listen, we'll trust you. We just need to verify. So if your story's correct and it wasn't you and it was a mix-up and she's trying to get you for money, then just unseal your files. My point is this. I don't really give a fuck. I didn't know about him. I'm not out here vigilante hunting. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just saying I'm comfortable with confrontation. That's all I'm saying. And I'm loud. Actually, if we're going to actually assign a hero to this, it's my boy Doc Ock, because he's the one that told me I just have a voice. I'm a megaphone. I'm loud in public, guys. You know what I mean? I come from a pro wrestling family. I'm very comfortable in front of a crowd. So all I did was just speak the information my boy knew and let the public know the information so that they can come to their own informed decision. That's it. You know what I mean? I'm not out here trying to fucking save the world or anything like that. If we could get these dudes off the street, great, right? But like, all I did was just get loud at an MMA event where I thought that's what we did. We got loud, maybe we get a little rowdy. You know what I mean? I thought maybe we were going to get a little rowdy. We didn't even get rowdy. You know what I'm saying? We didn't even get rowdy, guys. It went viral and we didn't get rowdy. Can you imagine if we would have got rowdy? Can you imagine if I would have stood up out of my chair, looked that man dead in his fucking eyes? You know what I'm saying? Like they would have had to fucking pull me back off him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm chill. I'm fucking Mr. Chill Guy. I'm there as a guest of the promotion. I'm there as a guest of Dr. Octagon of Fight Circus. I'm there by proxy as a guest of Nick Diaz because Nick Diaz was supposed to come with us. So they gave us the super upgraded Jumbotron fucking feet on the floor, kick them up, put them on the fucking cage tickets. You know what I'm saying? Extend your feet, put them on the side of the cage tickets. Right? So I'm a guest of all these people. Right? So I'm keeping it kosher. I'm keeping it respectful. I'm keeping it chill. I'm just saying. You're the dude, right? That's you, right? That's what you did? Okay, just checking so everybody's clear. If everybody's cool with it, then that's their as a collective community group, that's their decision. I'm not the fight promoter. I don't own the venue. I'm not the casino. I'm not the, none of that. I'm just loud. So that's what I appreciate people reaching out. People are saying all kinds of stuff. I really, honestly, people are talking about me fighting this guy in Misfits Boxing or something. Dude, I'll fight him. I fight people for this fight. As awesome as winning a pro MMA title is, it wasn't on as big a platform as Misfits. So would I box him in Misfits? Of course. I'll box anybody. I'll fight anybody. That's not an issue. It's a non-event for me. I fought 12 professional MMA fighters. It's a non-event for me. It's not a big deal. Would I go fight tomorrow? Yeah. Have I fought on 30 hours notice? Yes. Did I have to weigh in within 20 hours of getting the call? Yeah. I got the call, hung the phone up, turned the bathtub on, got in the bathtub, cut weight all night, got on a plane, cut the remaining part of the 14 pounds that I needed to cut on the airplane, landed, still was not on weight, went directly to a sauna, sat in a sauna, which I don't like to cut in the sauna, but I sat in the sauna for a couple hours, got off, started to fucking faint in the car because I cut a bunch of weight in a short period of time, got on the scale with 1 minute left and made weight. That's what I did. So this to me, fighting in Misfits, it's oh yeah, dude, okay, I'll fight in Misfits, right? But my point is, one, I don't even want to say dude's name because I don't want to platform the guy. Because I don't want him to get cred off this. Two, I don't even want to get cred off this, right? I didn't really do anything. I didn't, do anything. This dude did some bad stuff. I wish it never happened to that poor girl. And I don't want to get publicly, I don't think it's, this thing to exalt anybody over. And if you were to exalt anybody over it, it's Doc Ock. You know what I'm saying? He's the fucking man with all the fucking, he's the one that did all the shit. I just yelled. He even went over and told our boy Chris, who films for Tough Enough, yo, man, maybe don't give that guy so much play because it might look bad for the promotion. You know what I mean? And then Chris Cash didn't know who the dude was. You just see the guy in with the camera and the light crew, and then you think that's the dude you're supposed to film. Right? So to me, it was a non-event. It wasn't a big deal, but, to everybody else, 500,000 views in 24 hours. So that's how we got to that point, guys. That's the backstory on that. And because of all this nonsense craziness going on, right? I have not watched my own uncle's Hulk Hogan's documentary yet. I told you guys I was going to watch it. I was going to give you part 2 because I gave you a preview based on what my family members and everybody's been telling me about the documentary. So when you guys go watch it, you have a little inside scoop on the fact that the pro wrestling part is super accurate, but the rest of it may not be accurate because from my understanding, the number I got was the family stuff is 90%, 98% inaccurate. So I just figured I would let you guys know that in advance, right? So you didn't get lost in the sauce. And I said I was going to update you and I was going to watch the documentary and then I was going to post an official, this is what I think as Hulk Hogan's nephew, reaction to the actual documentary. But I've not watched it. I have plans to watch it tomorrow. So that live will probably be tomorrow night. Let me check the chat real quick, man, because the chat is popping off. What's up, man? Barely came in, but I got in a fight. Bro, God is real, man. He is going to get and one of his big reasons that God is real because you didn't punch him in his effing face. I saw you hold him back, man. You were ready to do something, but God is real. Yeah, bro. I agree. God is real. I'm my girlfriend and I talk about this a lot. I would be what's considered philosophically Christian. Okay? And so I think what she had a great explanation of it, which was like the delineation between philosophically Christian and religiously Christian is that while you may not totally religiously adhere that every single thing that is written in the Christian Bible is an accurate one-for-one depiction. Like, for instance, if a guy's in the belly of a whale and you're like, I get the meaning of the story, right? That in order to find the highest version of yourself as a man, which would be your father, your ancestral lineage that got you to this point, the best men of your lineage all into one like avatar of you, right? In order to find that version of you, you've got to face the beast, which is the whale, and you got to go where it's dark, which is the belly of the beast, which is the unknown. So in order to find yourself as a man, you have to go into the unknown and you have to test yourself. So you can understand that story philosophically without being 100% sure that there was an actual dude in a whale. Whereas like I've got a friend, his name's Cameron, and Cameron is like, dude, if the Bible says that there was a dude in a whale, there was a dude in a whale. Which I respect and I agree with in a lot of ways. Like, hey, man, if we're not going to go by the word of the book, then what are we doing? We're making our own interpretation. So that was my issue for a long time was that, like, dude, I believe in, like, the Christian principles, and I try and live by them. The issue is that if I'm not sure if there was an actual whale swallowing human beings and then people were living inside the stomach and then coming to rescue their father and like that actual story word for word, does that make me not a Christian, right? So anyways, my girlfriend had an amazing way of explaining it that she calls me a philosophical Christian, which I think is a good working title for it right now, right? So yes, I believe God is real. And I also believe that I believe a lot of stuff. I believe that we were all given an assignment by God. I believe that God believes in us. I believe that we should believe in ourselves the way God believes in us. I believe that you should believe in you the way God believes in you. What if today, what if you just started believing in you the way God believes in you? What if you believed that you were created in the image of God and that God loves you? And through God, you can do anything. And by believing in God, you believe in yourself the way God believes in you and what you can do as a creation that he made, right? Like what about that? Then what would you be able to do, right? So, without getting too off topic here, that's kind of like that's like the beginning framework of my belief system that extrapolates out from there. Okay. Fueled by caffeine. Let's go. These influencers are destroying societies. Oh, bro, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Society created the influencer, or is the influencer creating society? The influencer would not be influencing without an audience watching them. So is it the audience not having better taste? Or is it the influencer causing the audience to have worse and worse taste? Like, you know what I'm saying? And so there's an interesting thing going on right now, which is like Kick is paying their clippers. So the people that make the 30-second clips that have the little Kick logo on them, they get paid per 1,000 views, right? So Clavicular can go on and they can pay, you know, 1,600, I believe. I think it's 1,670 or something like that. People are clipping Clavicular's clips. So every day or week, right, there's like 60 to 70,000 30-second clips of Clavicular being put out. Kick is paying $660,000 a month in a clipping budget to those clippers. So to your point, that influencers are destroying society, one could even say that it's the platform paying the clippers to find the most, for the sake of this word, degenerate clips, the most controversial clips, clipping them and then putting them out there because they're getting paid to do so. So they're incentivized to find the craziest shit and then clip it and make it go viral and spread it everywhere. And then the algorithm notices, oh, people are sharing these clips, so the algorithm shows more of those clips. Because those clips are getting shared more by the clippers, the algorithm shows them more. Does that make sense? It gets crazy when you really start to think about it. Let me check. You're a good dude, man. I have told you this, your face plenty of times. And let's talk about fight news, man. Did you hear what happened the White House with Dana White? Yeah, we'll talk about that right now. The algorithm promotes them. And by the way, you're killing it, this channel, man. Like I said, it's my favorite show. Bro, you have excellent taste. Appreciate you. Yeah, and so I heard there was a shooting at some kind of event where Donald Trump was at, and I guess Dana was there too. And then they interviewed Dana, and I'm not sure if you guys have seen this yet, but Dana said, they told us all to duck, and I stood there. So he hit him with the Andrew Tate. I stood there unfazed, right? While the bullets were flying. That's what Dana was saying. So Dana said he stood there and he watched it, and he said it was an awesome experience, something like that. This is a general quote. This isn't an actual like quote, but the essence of what he said was like he took it all in while it was all happening, and all the dudes running in with guns to get the guy and all that. Dana stood there, and instead of taking cover, he watched it. So, you know, as far as the White House card, will it affect the White House card? I haven't even checked the news to see if that's happening or not. But from Dana's reaction, it seems like Dana was unfazed by it and will be moving forward with the White House card. Everything looked so fake and dude, bro, conspiracy theory screaming Illuminati. Yeah, a lot of people feel that it's convenient timing. So there's two groups that I'm hearing online. One group is saying that they are going to blame it on a certain country that we are currently at war with in order to try and get people to get on board with the war that is not popular. And then the other group of people are saying that it is a staged event to get the president's popularity up because the war is unpopular. So I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it at all. My boy Jesse on Fire just texted me. I saw it on my computer pull up right now. Because I sent him the clips because he's friends with those dudes. So Jesse on Fire used to be an MMA YouTube channel, and he's moved into full politics and like conspiracy stuff, which I find interesting to watch. I don't get involved in politics, but like he had one about like aliens and shit the other day. You know, I thought that was interesting. So he's actually friends with at least one of the dudes that clipped me up and put me on the channel as the dude exposing the bad pervert guy, you know? And I'm just like, bro, isn't this your boy, bro? You know what I mean? So it's funny, man. And, you know, I've got a lot of people advising me, like, run with it, call the guy out, cause a scene. And it's like, dude, I don't, like, really genuinely want to, like, engage with that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're gonna pay me a bag to fight the guy, I'll fight the guy. But like I literally don't care, right? Like that's between him and the court system. That's between him and the public. That's between him and the vigilantes, the people that roast people online, the people that gut you like a fish for having inconsistent facts. Those dudes, that's their lane. I'm in a different lane. You know what I mean? I'm in a lane of professional martial arts. And so that dude, I believe, would never get into the lane of fighting a professional fight. So he's not in my lane. You know, I did a minor public service by loudly saying what my friend told me. My friend is actually the hero in the case. He's the one that exposed the dude. I was the megaphone. But as far as it goes, like my boy's the hero. He's the one that let the security know. He's the one that had the paperwork. He's the one that told everybody, dude, don't go give that guy any play. Hey, man, this, you know, like he knew what was up. I didn't even know, right? So in my head, I'm like, okay, this dude's saying what he's saying about me online. You know how many people say shit about me online? The first time I fought, I won my professional MMA debut. And my uncle, Hulk Hogan, pulled up to the fight. And I posted a clip on YouTube. Because I've had a YouTube channel for a long time. I just never posted on it, right? So I just started posting recently, as you may know. And I posted this YouTube clip. This is back in the day. This is like 2008. Like, I'm old as fuck, right? And so I had my pro debut in 2008, guys. And, you know, I got the belt at 44, you know, so that's neither here nor there. But I posted it, and my uncle was at the place, and they showed him on camera. And I had somebody say, this was like the second comment on the page. I hope you and your family die, especially Brooke. Or something like that. Like my cousin Brooke, who at the time was like 16 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, or 15 even. It's like, the comment was so unhinged like that. It's like, dude, you hope me and my fucking family die? Bro, I literally fought an MMA fight, and my uncle happens to be famous. Like, I didn't make him famous. I didn't make the WWE. He wasn't even a bad guy at the time. He was Hulkster. He was in his returning to good guy era. You know what I mean? He's a good guy again. Like, and you're wishing death on me, bro? Like, I'm just out here living, dog. It's crazy, man. So, yeah, I'm very, very used to people saying wild shit. And, you know, like what am I going to do? Go chase down everybody that says something stupid about me? You know what I mean? I'm going to go call this guy out to a fight. He's not going to fight. It's going to give him more popularity. He's going to actually benefit from being a pervert or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's never going to fight me. You know, like they'll set it up today. They'll set it up today. I'll say yes. I say yes to everybody. There's another dude that called me out. So this is where I learned my lesson. This little dork in the UFC. He got cut. He got beat up 3 times, kicked right out, right? And, you know, he was talking shit on me because he was like, you're old, you'll never fight in the UFC. I'm like, well, if I never fight in the UFC, it's because of my age. It's not because of my skill set, bro. You couldn't hang in the UFC because of your skill set. So you got rolled up, balled up, and kicked to the curb like a fucking tin can, dog. That's what they thought of you. Right? And he called me out, and he wanted to fight in the parking lot. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to fight in the fucking parking lot. I want the biggest fucking venue possible. I want you to tell Sean Shelby that you want to fight me. I want to get signed to the UFC. And if I lose to you, Sean Shelby can cut me. That's what I want. One of us has got to go. Why don't we fight for our fucking careers, bro? Why don't we do it on the biggest stage possible? Why don't we do it with all the fucking cameras? Why don't we do it with all the fucking pressure? Why don't we put all the fucking stakes on it? That's what I want, right? So this dude keeps barking online. I'll fight you in the parking lot, blah, 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 blah. We're in the same city. We should scrap. I'm like, dog, bro. Anyway, he gets cut from the UFC. Tough Enough, the event I was at last night, offers him the fight. He's been offered the fight with me 5 times. He's turned down the fight 5 times, right? And now when you ask that guy, he will say he's never been offered the fight. Well, maybe his manager turned down the fight, or maybe he told the manager to da-da-da and pretend he doesn't know. I don't know what the fucking deal is. I just know I said yes 5 times and the fight never fucking happened. That's all I know. And furthermore, we can get the fucking matchmaker from the event who, when I performed at Fight Circus, the matchmaker pulled up to Fight Circus And that dude's teammate pulled up to fight Circus, and I pulled him over and I said, hey, you know how your little fucking dork ass friend says shit about me publicly and me and him have never fought? This is the matchmaker. Ask the matchmaker why we've never fought. Because I've said yes 5 fucking times. And the matchmaker's like, yeah, he did say yeah. He says yes every time. I don't even, it's like, it's not even a question. King David says yes. He's like, your guy turned it down 5 times, bro. So while this dude's back home barking and saying what he is and what he isn't, he said no 5 times. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's a professional MMA fighter who fought in the UFC saying no. You think some fucking dork who I don't even know what he's got followers for is gonna fucking like, if he does, cool, but like, okay, what am I supposed to do? Go argue with him in the comments and get his algorithm up, you know? Anyway, and that's why I didn't even title this video that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I could have played up the algo. I went viral over such and such name and blah, 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 calling out a PDF file. And these are great. Like, I could have done that in the title. But instead, I want to talk about somebody of value, Aljamain Sterling. I want to big up Aljo, right? I want to see Aljo win another title. I want to see him become a 2 division weight class champion. I appreciate the rounds that I got with the guy. I learned something from the dude. It's productive. You get what I mean? And even if that's less popular than the fucking drama and the bullshit and the fucking, this guy's a fucking kid, dude, like, da, 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 he's in the fucking final, all that shit, right? Like, that's sensational, and it might give me more views, but at what cost? Now I'm playing that game? Dude, okay, shoot me a bag. I'll bounce his head off the canvas. I probably won't even train for the fight. I'll just train normally like I train with my students, like I train with my teammates anyways. I won't even fucking change anything I do. I'll go up fucking 4 weight classes or whatever I got to go up because the dude looks like he's on juice. Like, whatever. It's not a big deal, guys. You know what I'm saying? Let me read the chat. Okay. Jocelyn Edwards had a beautiful performance. I have told her this every single time when I see her. She's going to become future champion. In your opinion, how many fights away for her to get a title shot? Oh, man, you know, probably a couple because she does not speak English. If she spoke English and talked shit, which there is a scenario in which talking shit is beneficial, right? Not to some dork on some, you know, you get the distinction. At least that's how I think, right? Like, if me talking shit will benefit me, then I will talk shit in a professional environment that gets me towards my goal. So if she could talk shit or have a hot take or call out the champ or say that she's going to whoop the champ's ass, right? That would be helpful because we are in an entertainment-based sport. Aside from that, they're probably going to make her fight 2 more times. There was a woman interviewed at the event. She said, you'll see fireworks. A few minutes later, shots went off. Oh, what? It's 100% staged. That's all I have to say. Oh, at the Trump event, they said fireworks, and a few minutes later, dude, that's wild, bro. If she really said that, wow. And just to be clear, there were not actual fireworks. She wasn't talking about, like, it's not a coincidence. Is what I'm saying. Like, she didn't say, oh, there's going to be a firework display later. And then there was actually like a firework display planned. That's crazy if she said that right before. But, you know, I don't know what she would mean by that. What else could she mean? Not because I always try and play the, I believe that if you cannot argue the other side of the argument as well as the people on that side, then you don't understand the argument. So, like, what could she mean? Could she mean that, like, Trump was going to make a major announcement or something, and that would be fireworks? It's 100%. She said there'll be some shots. Oh, shit. But that ain't good. That ain't good, bruh. I was talking to my buddy today about it, about politics, because, you know, the influencer that I got into with happens to be from a certain country. But the cool part is, my buddy, his daughter is that country's religion as well because his wife is that. You know what I mean? So it was interesting just talking to him about the conspiracy theories that are out there and that how, like, there's people that are very into those theories, but, like, then what? Okay, so like we were talking about this one, if the sun's rays are coming in from the clouds here and they're going like this, then one can assume that if the rays are at this angle that they will meet at this point, right? And then some people would say that that point is not 93 million miles away, or the sun rays would be coming in straight instead of at an angle where they would intersect at the sun, right? But what does that mean? So if you were to believe that, then that would mean what? Space is fake. More on flat Earth. Like what? Like NASA's lying. Okay. Elon Musk is lying. There's no such thing as satellites. Wait, all the satellites are balloons. Like what? Like where does that get to? Every scientist on the planet is wrong. All the textbooks are wrong. Like everything is like. So it's interesting how when one starts to look into certain things, it's like where does the rabbit hole stop? Because you can go on forever, right? So you know what I mean? What did happen with the incident tonight with the politicians? Like what really did happen? Will we ever know? Or will we just speculate? Because one side said it's one thing, one side said it's the other. The official narrative. I mean, they had an official narrative about what was happening when everybody was getting the flu, you know what I mean? Or whatever we're going to call that, the lockdown. I don't even want to say the words on here because the algorithm, you get what I'm saying? So like, we're not allowed to discuss that to this day, really, you know? And so like, is any of it accurate? Like, you know, oh, I don't like the thing that they said was mandatory that we had to put in our body. But like, what president is the one that pushed that through? Right? And then people blame it on the next president because he was trying to mandate it. But who's the president that pushed it through? You get what I'm saying? Like, so what are we even doing, guys? Anyways, that's why I focus on martial arts, y'all. I focus on martial arts, putting my feet in the fucking grass, connecting with planet Earth, getting some sunshine, and staying fucking caffeinated, guys. Because I like a vibe. Good vibes only. And yeah, man. And so shout out to everybody that's still in the chat, man. You guys are the real ones. I'm getting motherfucking real ones t-shirts. You know what I mean? Watch. That's coming next. Okay? The software is taking... So with the software, I got this whole software. And you can put shit on the screen, do all this. Whatever reason, it's recording. And then what the recording comes out at is a blank screen. And then I got it to actually record me and the screen capture at the same time. I'm like, oh yeah. And then it didn't record audio. So I'm like, I need an audio codec or whatever the fuck it's called, a driver or some shit. Right? Boom, download that. Don't even know where that downloaded to on the computer. Great. Cool. Is the audio recording now? No, it's back to the black screen. Now the video's not recording, right? So we're going to figure it out. We're going to get that going. And we're also going to get real ones t-shirts, man, because I want to recognize you guys. You know what I'm saying? You guys are fucking real ones, right? And the reason why I'm saying this is because I read and respond to every single comment on my page, right? Unless it's like a fucking thread where I've already responded 3 times, then sometimes I just let the people go. But, you know, if it's like a new comment, I'll respond. Some of the comments are fucking stupid, bro. That's another problem with politics, man, is these people are really dumb, guys. Like, really dumb. Like, I'll say something. They'll not comprehend what I'm saying. Take it out of context. Get mad at me. Argue with me about something I'm not even saying, right? Or I'll tell somebody something factual. Like, the one that's popping off right now is people are arguing with me about my uncle, right? Like, they read something on Reddit, and this is my uncle. I'm trying to tell them the truth and go, hey, what you read on Reddit isn't reality. This is exactly what it is. He's my uncle. You know what I mean? And they're like, yeah, actually in 19 blah 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 blah, this person said such and such backstage was a work match in a fucking house show. And I'm like, dude, I got the actual story on that. I'm trying to give it to you. It can't even get through, right? So or something that you gotta, here's something to learn in life. Be coachable, right? Learn how to listen and let compliments land. So if someone compliments you guys, just let it land. You know what I'm saying? That'll get you far in life. Let me read this chat.